You don't know how to breathe, and I'm going to teach you how. So why should you watch a video about breathing? A lot of success in life comes from small improvements accumulated over time. It's about compound interest. What are you doing hopefully right now? You're breathing and you have a posture. And you breathe and have a posture for your whole life. If you can focus on even a small improvement in those areas, something you're doing all the time, that can have the biggest compounding improvement effect on your whole life and every area of your life. So I hope you'll take a moment to stop and think a little bit more about your breathing and how you're breathing right now. Okay, so let's try this little exercise. So take a breath and think about where you're breathing in your chest. Are you breathing towards the lower bottom of your torso? Are you breathing in the upper part of your chest? That's usually an indication of your mood. Everyone has their own particular posture. And it's hard to say, do this one thing, and that's the right posture for everyone. So what's a general technique? One general technique is you should try to maximize the deepest breath you can take. For this exercise, maximize your inhale. What's the largest volume breath you can take? Now, try it like this. Imagine that you're very aged, your chest is sunken. So now, if you try to take a breath, a full deep breath, well, there's definitely a limit. You can feel that there's a compression because your spine is bent. Now go in the opposite direction. Fully stretch out your back. Overstretch it to as far as you can go. And then try to take a deep breath, as deep as you can. That's very limited. And you see how it's almost in the opposite sense. You can't take a full upper chest breath when your lungs are compressed. You can't take a full lower breath chest when your spine is too far back. Now, what you want to do is try to find that middle point that allows you to take the maximum inhale. And that should be the proper spinal flexion for you. Try to imagine that there's a string on the top of your head and it's pulling you straight up. And you want to feel that pull. So where your chin should rest, where your head should be oriented, is if you let your arm rest, you pull your hand up, and then you stretch your finger out, and you rest the tip of your nose right there. Take another breath. Where is your tongue resting in your mouth? Is it on the bottom of your mouth? Is it at the roof? In a well-developed human mouth, the tongue rests on the roof of the mouth, applying pressure to the roof, and the tip of the tongue rests just behind the back front teeth. If you have a different tongue posture, you might have a mismatch. I didn't fully realize this until I was getting braces and looked into mewing more. I realized that the space in my mouth wasn't big enough for my tongue. So my tongue wasn't resting in proper posture. What I had to do with my tongue, I realized I needed to fold my tongue. When I pushed the tip of my tongue behind my front teeth, I felt like I still needed to push out my tongue, but there was no more space. So I pushed my tongue out past the front of my teeth. That allowed a much deeper breath. So what I started to do was push out my tongue and then fold the tip of my tongue behind my front teeth. And that allowed me to experiment with the different lengths of my tongue and how the back of my tongue posture affected my breathing. What I would say to you is try to think of the back of your tongue like the lumbar spine, like your lower back. You want to keep the back of your tongue straight, like the base of your spine, and that allows your airway to be like a tube that goes from your nose down to your lungs. The back of your tongue, along with the back of your teeth, blocks off your mouth. Think about it like this. A lot of great animals have a separate airway for breathing and a separate airway for eating, like dolphins. But humans have a mixture of those. Something we probably should keep separate. It allows us to talk, but look where that got us. This has made a big difference in my life because I realized when I was younger, I actually had bad breath and I had a lot of bacteria on the top of my tongue. And I could see it. It was like a white, filmy bacteria. And I would wake up with really bad morning breath. When I was a teenager, as soon as I could, I got a tongue scraper and I would scrape that bacteria off my tongue. It was weird. I didn't really know why I had this and other people didn't. And something I started to pick up is that people who seemed to have really good tongue posture, either naturally or whatever, had much less bacteria on the top of their tongue. I think that what happens too when your tongue is not resting on the roof of your mouth, if it's resting on the bottom of your mouth, that saliva pools and it allows a lot of different bacteria to grow on your tongue. Whereas if your tongue is pressed to the roof of your mouth, there's only anaerobic bacteria there. Not the aerobic bacteria. When you breathe through your nose, that air filters through your mouth, giving any aerobic bacteria the oxygen that they need, and then filters into your lung. With proper tongue posture, that doesn't happen as much, not nearly as much. Once you start practicing tongue posture, you'll see that your tongue gets really tired. So just take a break, come back to it. But it should be a regular practice. Mewing is pressing your tongue to the roof of your mouth, and this has been done for beauty. Often children will be pushed to mew and they say it will make you beautiful. So part of this is that by pressing on the roof of your mouth, your tongue opens up growth platelets. It opens up growth in your mouth so that the bone building minerals can spread throughout your mouth, and also the face. So it thickens and widens the bones in the face, often leading to more attractive people. So, does this work now? Should you mew to be beautiful? Should you mew to change your face, widen it, even it? I don't know if mewing will work if you're not still growing. Maybe this is something much more reasonable for children or adolescents. I didn't really look into it again until I got braces, and my mouth is changing and the bones are actually restructuring now, so I think there might be some regrowth and some chance for a transformation. So if there is going to be a change, or if I'm going to practice it, it should be now. But really what mewing is about, what proper tongue posture is about, I don't think you should do it for beauty because it takes a really long time. That's not motivating. The reason you should mew and have proper tongue posture is in every breath you want to get the deepest breath. And if you get the deepest breath, you will be healthier, and that leads to beauty. Mew for your breath.